Hello, I'm Joseph Coelho, Children's Laureate, and I'm in a very special library today, the library at Clarence House, and I'm here to meet Her Majesty the Queen Consort and BookTrust supporter to talk about books and the joy of reading. Your Majesty, I was wondering if you could talk a little about any books that spoke to you in childhood, maybe a book that sparked the imagination.
That's so difficult because there's so many books I read as a child. Or, you went through different phases as a child by loving this or that. But I think, I have to admit, in the end, I ended up probably being a sort of pony-mad child with Black Beauty, which I howled over night after night after night. And that was probably one of my favourites. And then you probably, because you're far too young, we had all these wonderful old-fashioned adventures, wonderful children's stories, and you go on the adventures yourself as a child, Swiss Family Robinson. My sister and brother and I, we always used to go off and camp and pretend we were, stranded with just our animals for company, and it takes you into a sort of multitude of different worlds.
Yeah, I think it is so special when you find those books that allow you to escape. Like I used to love the Ladybird fairy tales.
Oh yes, they were
and
lovely.
They had gorgeous illustrations, and they were a little bit scary.
Did you ever try the Grimm's fairy tale? They were seriously scary. I remember going to bed at night and having, quite bad dreams about them.
Well, they don't hold back, do they?
No, they don't hold back.
And I think children appreciate
But
that.
I think, people, I think as children, half of you wants to be scared. You want to. You don't want to be scared too much, but it's that sort of frisson, isn't there, of just being a little bit frightened.
Well, books are a safe space, aren't they, where you can be a little bit scared, and it's okay. You can close the covers, get under your duvet, and
exactly, sort of peek out of the top.
Yeah.
But what were your favourite books?
My favourite. Oh, I actually have one of them here.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So there's. So I was like really thinking about this. What was one of my favourites? Because there's so many. But I remember my reception teacher reading "There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly."
I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die.
Yeah. And I remember being completely delighted. And it's the wonderful illustrations, which are by Pam Adams, but also the die cut, the holes in the book.
Oh, you had the holes there.
Yeah,
you saw exactly where the poor old fly
just swallows larger and larger animals.
Larger and larger animals.
But I adored that, and I think because it was a little bit silly.
Yeah.
It felt a little bit naughty. But yeah, I have very fond memories of my reception teacher sort of telling us that story again and again.
No, it's lovely to have the memories, isn't it?
And would you be able to tell us a little bit, Your Majesty, about your experience reading to your grandchildren and why reading together is such a wonderful bonding experience?
I mean, it was just a wonderful way of getting to know them, as you say, bonding, sitting on the end of their bed and just reading. We took it in turns to find our favourite stories. And what's lovely, it's really got them reading. I mean, properly reading. They are bookworms now. It's so lovely. If I go and see them, I find them tucked up in bed, with a book and saying, "Please don't turn off the light. I've got to finish this chapter." So, and I think it's something that if it's instilled in you at a very young age, you never forget it.
Yeah.
I remember my father, reading to us, and consequently, you turn around and you read to your grandchildren.
Yeah.
And I think I read every children's book. I mean, I could practically do them backwards. Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy. I mean, it's a real tongue twister, that one.
I do often hear from parents saying, my child's made me read your book 15 times. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry.
That's very
It's
nice.
lovely.
At that age, they want to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
You start again, and then they want it read 3 or 4 times a night.
Yeah. And woe betide you if you get anything wrong. Even slightly wrong. It's like, no, that doesn't happen.
It is really nice when you see the pure enjoyment that children are getting out of reading. And, if you get that at a very early age, it's going to help you so much in future life, because the earlier you read, the more you're going to understand. The more books you read, the more you're going to understand about different places, different cultures, different ways of life, different everything.
Yeah, and that skills for life, isn't it? And it leads to a whole host of benefits, and it's fun.